What's more impressive when it's done naked? There was a guy on the local news that fought a cougar while naked, cause it attacked his dog. I too like to get naked with cougars. Not completely naked though. Wear that rubber. Wild animals carry all sorts of diseases. Ah yes, safety first. I once thought it would be a great idea to bring my cat in the shower with me so I would be okay with getting soaking wet while I gave him a bath. He hates baths and I have never been more aware of how much vulnerable, soft skin I have on my body. Naked cougar wrestling sounds absolutely horrifying. Sliding down a hot metal playground slide. Spacewalk. It's cold as balls out there. Horse racing. If jockeys could race naked, I'm sure they would. Anything to cut weight. Probably wear a speedo. To reduce drag. Why would a horse wear a speedo? And to reduce chafing. Horses are already naked, you fool. Welding. Ask my how I got my winter sunburn. How did you get your winter sunburn? From the tanning bed, dumbass. I read this in red for man's voice. Is there a vacant room in your ass? Because my foot is looking for one. Paraphrasing obviously. A rousing game of Twister. Ah, great spacing LMAO. Sounds like a Cards Against Humanity answer. Don't knock Strip Twister. That it got competitive. I tried Strip Twister once. Neither of us wanted to lose so we just ended up exhausted and fully clothed. That's where the alcohol comes in. Beekeeping. Magic tricks. I'd love to see the disappearing pencil trick. I'm not quite sure what the implication here is, but all my inferences make me too afraid to ask. I would have thought you'd be more familiar with the techniques of nude magical arts. Bush hiders. I would think the opposite. They are dedicated to keeping the bush hidden at all times. I believe naked magicians do it through a little sleight of hand trick called sounding. Running from the police on asphalt on a hot summer day. When I was in Air Force basic training, July in San Antonio, Texas, there would be situations where we would march as a flight on the blacktop. This pavement was freaking hot in the middle of the day when we would march and our MTI, military training instructor, made some of the trainees do push-ups. I remember people screaming when they had to get down and push for freaking up the march. One guy's hand was so raw he couldn't even open any doors. Not sure if our MTI got in trouble for that, but he did end up going to prison for making trainees drink toilet water from their canteens. He was also involved in the Laughlin Facebook X scandal and was investigated for having relationships with tech school airmen. My MTI, I'm assuming accidentally, halted us in fire ant territory. No joke, they were halfway up my legs before I noticed, and when they started biting I asked for permission to adjust before I started swatting them off. Our drill sergeants took us to a field of fire ant nests for our react to indirect fire training, which is just marching, then diving to the floor whenever the drill sergeants whistle while screaming incoming. At the time, I hated it and thought it was straight up abuse. That night, I realized they were teaching us that nothing is more important in combat than being alert and ready to endure pain to survive. Now, years later and jaded as frick, I'm pretty sure it was just abuse. Yeah, that sounds like abuse. Training an attack dog. You just need peanut butter and decent medical insurance. Perhaps Geo Blue Balls. You should have seen it, Mike. Man, I wish I took a video or something. The dog ran in there and ripped his dong and balls off with one bite. It couldn't have been more than half a second. It's like they trained that dog to bite off someone's genitals. So I worked as an adoption counselor for an animal shelter. I had this big bloodhound shepherd mix named Moose. Moose was 130 pounds at just under a year. Sweet dog, did a whole lot of him. I have him in a meet with a young guy going great, seems interested. We are just wrapping up when Moose nails this guy in the junk while playing. It was rough and he did not end up taking Moose. I've heard of being goosed. This is the first time I've heard of being moosed. Skydiving. Flap 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 flap. Taking your phone out of your pocket. The Olay ham wallet. The Olay spam purse. The Olay taco socko. The Olay brown bag. The Ol wizard sleeve. Climbing Everest. Get ready to become halfway point naked guy. I wouldn't be surprised if there already is a naked corpse on Everest. Don't people undress sometimes during extreme cases of hypothermia? Yes, it's called paradoxical undressing. Some suspect it's due to the body not knowing how to signal being that cold as your vasal system shuts down and it starts sending the same panic signal it would if you were really hot. So you start stripping clothes off. I've read it's thought to happen when the muscles constricting your blood vessels in order to reduce heat loss and keep vital organs warm become exhausted and relax. The sudden rush of blood back out to the extremities makes the person feel hot, and in their confused mental state they assume they're overheating. Fun fact, I experienced this summer. I felt like I was burning up, but had gotten myself so cold I was hypothermic. My temperature was off 4 months. Attending a sexual harassment seminar. If you have problems speaking, just picture everyone at the seminar naked. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Well, turns out they weren't lying. Wendy's really does have fresh meat. Where's the beef? Oh. Speaking at a sexual harassment seminar. Stripping. Casually takes off skin. Welcome to the personal space show. House Bolton intensifies. Robbie Williams did that. Being an emperor and getting compliments on your new outfit. Or similarly, taking back the crown. I'm a dressed up and naked. I see what's mine and take it, oh yeah. Frying bacon. That's an extreme sport right there. More like suicide. Sous vide. That's not back bacon. That's your back bacon. Is there any other way? Fighting off a home invasion. Nah, that just gives you an advantage. Imagine you're robbing someone's house at night, and some naked guy comes running towards you at high speed out of the darkness. Inhuman screaming optional, but recommend. The inhuman screaming is that extra psychological effect. So is aggressively trying to take off the home invader's pants. Brings in a whole new level of fear. He has pants. Get the pants. Putting your hands in your pockets. Great, now I have to slice holes in the sides of my thighs to put my hands in. Or if you're a girl, one hand in the butt and the other in the PP. Bam. Guys though, prospects are more grim. You didn't have to type that comment. God help us all. Musical note, Hot Pocket. Jim Gaffigan approves this message. Stealing the Declaration of Independence. Or natural treasure. All of these read like cards against humanity. A Zoom meeting with co-workers. Cough cough Tubin. Pulling wheelies on a motorcycle down the interstate going 80 miles per hour. Just imagine the pain down there. 5 seconds and it's enough to make a grown man cry. Itting. When you strip down naked to take a it, everyone knows it's serious business. Gotta love those times when you take your shirt off on the way to the bathroom. Like you already know that it's about to get wild in there. Hiding a boner. Looking in a full-length mirror and not crying. A talent show. Picking your kids up from school. Even more impressive when it's someone else's kids. Presidential debates. If I had to turn on the TV and see Joe or Donald's flabby bodies and dangling nutsacks, I'd probably have to kill myself. Naked, playing airsoft and taking it like a pro, but with no clothes. It doesn't hurt much, but on sensitive uncovered skin, ouch, would hate to take a hit and the private's naked. Already been shot in the bits before, but with clothes. Staying warm. Well, that's what the PCP is for. Opening a pickle jar. There's good naked, and there's bad naked. Walking through a cactus garden. Job interviews. Surfing. There is a move called Hang 11. I'll let you figure that one out. Zoom meeting with your class. Digging a tunnel under a melting nuclear reactor. I understand this reference. However, they weren't naked. They had the hats. XD. The windmill. How would you even do that with clothes on? Well, that's why it wouldn't be as impressive. Kinda seems like it would be more impressive if you could pull it off fully clothed. Giving a speech live on the midday news. What isn't? Putting on clothes. A serious answer. Fighting. Slathering yourself in baby oil and sliding down the lane at the bowling alley. Going behind the pins to the weird machine things to meet God and Jesus, but only on Tuesdays. You're right, it's just not as impressive on Wednesdays. Now that would be more impressive with clothes cause you wouldn't slide as well. You would slide way better naked and slathered in baby oil, as the comment says, than just clothes. Repairing a satellite in orbit. Magic. Can't put stuff up your sleeves if you don't have any. Maintaining eye contact with a stranger while eating a banana. Pitching a tent. Scaling a barbed wire fence. Winning a court case. Squatting and still looking exy. Dancing or modeling. Male equals doing the twist. Female equals jumping on trampoline. Sigh. Incognito mode. Attending grandma's funeral. Not getting arrested in public. Babysitting. Uncle, is that you? Push-ups. Cause your dong keeps smacking the ground. But don't ask why, I've tried it though.